More to Marketing.
Welcome to More to Marketing, the podcast on marketing, product, and everything business. I'm your host, Susan Walsh, and today we're going to be talking about marketing of the pharmaceuticals and how it varies dramatically in all different countries. Now, whether you're a pharma marketer or a healthcare professional, or just curious to know how life-saving medicines can make their way from a lab to patients, check out what we're going to talk about today. So for me, I thought this was an interesting topic because you see and hear a lot of things. There's funny things that you see in TV shows, horrible things you see as well. And I wasn't actually sure how pharmaceutical marketing worked and why it was so unique. So that's why I did a bit of research to learn more. So pharmaceutical marketing isn't just about selling a product. It's about navigating a landscape shaped by science, strict regulations, hopefully, cultural sensitivities, and most importantly, patient health outcomes. Unlike other industries, the pharma marketers must balance business goals with ethical responsibilities and compliance requirements. Now, marketing does do a few different things and is impacted by some areas. So regulatory complexity is a big one because every country has its own set of rules, and some are often stricter than others depending on the sector. And you've got different audiences as well. So you're not just marketing to consumers, but it could also be to the healthcare professionals themselves and the regulators, all these different, and the payers. So there's all these different people that are part of the audience mix when it comes to pharma marketing. And there's also a lot of high stakes involved. The information you share can directly impact health outcomes. So you need to make sure everything is accurate and transparent. They're paramount. Now, there's been some key trends in 2025. Now, the world of pharmaceutical marketing is definitely rapidly evolving. We've seen huge changes over the last few years. And some of the biggest trends that are changing right now is, well, one, of course, digital transformation. Pharma companies are embracing all these digital tools, automations, and AIs to streamline operations, do more personalized communications, and also optimize campaigns in real time. Now, delving deeper into personalization, advanced analytics allows for a highly tailored message for both the healthcare professionals and also patients, moving away from those generic type of campaigns. Data-driven decisions. Big data and predictive analytics are helping marketers really forecast trends and measure campaign effectiveness better. And that means they can adapt more quickly too. Social media, so it could be from LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, all the other ones. They're now being used as an essential channel for educating. So that's where a lot of patients get details, updates are provided, and also a trust can be built as well. Omnichannel strategies are never far away, and there's something that's definitely still trending. Integrating campaigns across digital, print, and in-person channels hopefully creates a seamless customer journey and builds that stronger brand relationship. Now, pharma marketing itself has two main strategies: push and pull. And it does combine a mix of both because of how unique this industry is. So when we talk about push marketing, that's when we're actually promoting products directly to healthcare professionals through sales reps, conferences, and samples. This approach is often used for, say, new drug launches or when awareness is quite low. Now, the reverse is the pull marketing, creating consumer demand through educational campaigns or digital content, could even be patient advocacy. And this essentially brings people in to say, I want to try this, I want to do this. And it's quite relevant in countries where there's a lot of direct-to-consumer advertising. Now, a hybrid approach is probably going to be one of the ones that will yield the best results, because then not only are you getting the healthcare professionals involved, but you're building an awareness out there to bring people in to the healthcare professionals. Now, all countries are different about how pharma marketing works. So there's been a lot of things you hear about different countries and how it works and different ways advertising works. So I wanted to have a look into how it does differ because I know in my background and my backyard of Australia, it is highly regulated and very, very strict. I've worked for an American company bringing in goods into Australia, and I've seen how tight it is. It really is very, very tight, which is fantastic if you're the end consumer, because then you feel a lot safer. But what about other countries? So, the United States, direct to consumer advertising, how does that work? So, yes, they do it. The US is one of only two countries, the other being New Zealand, that allows direct to consumer advertising for prescription drugs. This means that pharmaceutical companies can directly talk to patients via TV, print, and digital ads. High spending and pricing. So the US dominates global pharma sales, of course, no surprise there, and accounts for over 44% of the market. Drug prices and per capita spending are the highest in the world, driven by patent protection and also a minimum pricing control, which is a bit sad. Now, there is regulatory oversight. They have the FDA, which enforces strict rules on advertising claims and requires clear disclosures of risks and benefits. In Europe, you're not allowed to do the direct to customer advertising, it's prohibited. So everything has to go through your healthcare providers. Now, national regulations, so they are the EU provides a regulatory framework, and each country has its own rules and self-regulation codes. So across all the different countries, it can be quite complex. Now, the focus is more on value for marketing. So the European marketing emphasizes clinical effectiveness, cost effectiveness, and patient outcomes. And that's often due to government or insurer reimbursing the policies. Now, if we go to another area of the world, so let's say South America, so let's look at Latin America, say Brazil, Argentina. They do have strict controls when it comes to prescription drug advertising to the public in general is prohibited. So that means it's again only limited to the healthcare professionals. And even then, the regulations are very tight. Now, if we look at public relations versus advertising, then in Latin America, in Brazil in particular, public relations is often the only way to communicate about a prescription drug, with advertising reserved for the over the counter products. Asia. So, multilingual and multicultural challenges do prevail across Asia. Countries like India require marketing in multiple languages and dialects. And this means that the campaigns need to be tailored to diverse cultural norms and also health benefits and beliefs. Regulatory diversity. So, across Asia, each country has its own regulation body and also the approval process. So, it makes regional adaptation essential. Now, there is the rapid market growth. So, markets like China and India are quickly growing, but they require local partnership and deep cultural understanding to succeed. Now, there are challenges when it does come to just general marketing of pharmaceutical globally. Now, a lot of them are going to be about regulatory compliance because it's a bit of a patchwork out there from local to federal codes, and it's quite time consuming and risky. So you've got to make sure that you look into all of those to ensure you don't get any legal penalties or product delays. Lots of cultures and companies going in, and then also lots of countries. We're looking at cultural sensitivities here. In some places, there'll be health beliefs or taboos, and communication styles are very different too. A campaign that works in one country could often fail in another. Complex medical information sometimes doesn't translate well either. So accessibility and accuracy and even cultural relevance can make a difference and make it very challenging for the message. Market access and also pricing. So pricing pressures, even like reimbursements of systems, competition, generic, and also others. There's going to be all different things that will impact the value proposition in each market. But how can you succeed in doing pharma marketing? So looking into this, it was interesting because one of them was investing in compliance, which you think would be a given, but it seems like not a lot of companies actually do this. So it's making sure that all your marketing is compliant. And that's to build a strong internal process for the review and also keeping up to date on any local laws for the areas and countries that you're in. Really do embrace multicultural marketing. So where you need to, train your team in cultural competencies and work with local experts to adapt messaging. It'll make it more effective. Leverage digital and data. Analytics is your friend. Segment audiences, personalized content, measure campaigns in real time. Ensure that's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Build and foster trust. Be transparent about benefits and risks, and engage in authentically connecting with both the professionals and patients. And the final tip, which works best for pharma, is localize. Make sure things are tailored to that area, to that language, to the imagery, to the message, to the market. Make sure you actually are showing that you care, because it is a pharmaceutical. It is actually very personal to all these people. Pharmaceutical marketing is one of the most challenging and for many rewarding fields in the industry. It's about more than just promoting a product. It is about improving lives, building trust, and navigating a world where every market is different. Look at ways to bring innovation, personalization, and global collaboration to life in pharma marketing. The companies that succeed most will be able to adapt quickly, respond to local differences, and really put the patients first. Thank you for listening to this podcast on More to Marketing. Don't forget to listen to more in the future. More to Marketing.